Okay, so today we have an interview related to our project export to international NGOs. And for the interview today, we have a company representative, Caritta Seppä, who is a co-founder of Tespack. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much, Sami.
And I have a few questions for you, so let's keep it nice and simple and jumping straight to the point. So
Perfect.
first, briefly, can you tell me what does Tespack do?
Yeah, of course. So Tespack, we're a Finnish company. We specialize in developing smart mobile microgrids. But our goal is that by combining solar, smart IoT, and electronics, we have developed portable energy systems that can support organizations, agencies, and people to make sure that they can work efficiently in any parts of the world where there's no access to electricity. So in a summary, in a nutshell, we make it possible for people to generate energy, to utilize it for charging their equipment, and to work in any parts of the world.
Very interesting and definitely comes in use. I understand you have been already working quite a lot with different NGOs. Uh, could you name few?
Yes, we've been already active for a few years now. The COVID actually kind of accelerated the whole progress because obviously a lot of agencies like Plan International, World Vision, Save the Children, UNICEF, they really required solutions that are portable energy systems that can be easily taken to any locations in order to carry out projects around education, agriculture, and so on. So in addition to those agencies that I mentioned, other ones like Save the Children as well are some of our current partners, and Solidaridad Network that we are very glad to be working with.
Those are all quite a many. Generally, I think that people have the perception that working with the NGOs and especially get to work with them is quite difficult. So how did you manage to pull it through? How did you manage to start to work with those NGOs?
It is very true. I think the reason why a lot of people they think it's hard and difficult to work with agencies is that obviously when you're a private company, your goals as a company is completely different. Your aim is to be a profitable, focus on creating revenue. Profits, on the other hand, they're known for making good, making an impact. So I think that's already the first thing when it comes to dealing with them, to find the balance and understanding that in order to even work together, you have to achieve same goal or similar results. Then the second thing is that it's all about talking to the right people. So all of these organizations, for example, if we look like UNICEF, they are major, massive organization globally. They have different projects, they work in different countries, which means that if you talk with some people here, maybe in the Nordics, they might not be relevant people to actually on the programs, let's say like in Africa, where they need our systems. So it really comes down to finding the right people at the right target program in the right region who you want to reach out to in the beginning in order to make any type of collaborations. And I think that's the key. It's about partnerships and collaboration, not simply trying to just push and sell a product. So these would be some of the biggest tips that I would say.
Very interesting. So it's about the right people.
Very much.
Actually, related to that as well. So the NGO sector, besides it's difficult to find right people, it does tend to known as a little bit bureaucratic and complex and long time loops, waiting times, so on. So so what is like your experience on that? So of course, first it takes time to find the people, but when you find the right people and right like opportunities there, so how do you see the environment then after you first find the people?
To be honest, that can really vary a lot according to the organization. So obviously, yes, the so to say bigger bureaucratic beast would be definitely United Nations because they do have certain policies that they need to, fulfill. So it does take time to go through certain procedures. But then if you look into smaller agencies, they might be able to, when you talk to the right people, they can be the person who makes the decisions already, which means that anything can happen even from, less than a month time. So it really varies, which again, of course, from a company's perspective, it might make it difficult to operate or work with the agencies because there is no standardized, I would say, a timeline or a way of working with them because they are very much different in that sense. So it's about finding the balance and biggest and most important thing is that there needs to be relevancy for your solutions for the NGO to be interested in discussing with you from the beginning.
Okay, interesting. But on the other hand, it's nice to hear that it's not always so difficult. It may be, or it may not. So it may vary then. About Tespack, so how large is the Tespack at the moment? The company, how many people are working at Tespack, for example?
So currently we have our headquarters are here in Espoo, Otaniemi, where I'm currently located. So there's 10 of us in the team right now, but we have projects in mostly, I would say, in Africa, Latin America, as well as also in Southeast Asia.
So it's basically a small company. So how do you find that then with all the process work, finding the right people, unless you manage to get the jackpot and decision in a month? So how do you see, like, is this really, like, of course it's impactful, but is it profitable for the small company like yourself to actually work in this sector?
Again, I would say it depends on the approach. If you do go through like the global tenders that you can find in the UN website, every single big organization, they have the tender platforms, like open procurements. That's extremely difficult. I would say it's more difficult to get a big tender in the beginning than winning a lottery. So I would not be putting, to be honest, any of the efforts because there is just too much competition. Your product is not aware of, so it can be a very, very long journey. But if you leave that aside and you actually look into reaching out, let's say to one agency, like we started with Plan International. Plan International works in around 80 countries. So by starting with Finland, finding out the way how we can collaborate together, that then supported us in starting projects in other countries because they can make make references to their colleagues in another region in Africa. They, on the other hand, then can refer to their colleagues in other regions. So this is what has been a benefit in the sense because they are not competitors. At the same time, Plan is happy to say to World Vision that, hey, why don't you work together? They would really need your product because there's no competition in that sense, like in a private sector. So that can actually work as an advantage when it comes to expanding between different regions and finding new customers if you don't know who to reach out. So most of the time, if they're happy with your system and it's really truly helping them, we've seen that they're more than happy to talk to other agencies or help us even to make right kind of introductions or connections.
Okay, so kind of like starting with small and then building the kind of like step to step going up. Okay.
Exactly.
Very nice. Out of those many projects that you have had, do you have some which you say has been your favorite project? Something that really stand out?
I don't think I can say a favorite, but the reason why I would say the projects in Uganda stand out because I was just recently last month in Uganda. So I was in person visiting the project that Plan International is doing in Lira and in Kampala, as well as with some project with World Vision that we have in Adjumani. So for me, in being in person in the places where you can see the impact that our solutions are making for children, being able for the first time to watch certain videos and visuals, it's completely different than just sitting in the office when actually you are working with the people, seeing firsthand the changes that are taking place. So in that sense, I would say that it has been definitely one of the most impactful, and I'm so excited just to see the great results that we've been achieving together with our amazing partners in Uganda.
That's a very nice story. And I guess the impact and the slogan, do good, do business is really there.
Definitely. And I think that's the key to work with any NGOs. There has to be that impact mission that you as a private company as well need to have.
Yes, related to that, so having the impact as one goal. So the one last question actually, what I have for you is like, if a company would like to start work with the NGO sector, so what would you advise? What would be the first thing to get started?
The first thing would be just to establish already a potential partner. So once you have established, let's say whether it is World Vision, Plan International, Save the Children, start from your own region. Like we are located in Finland, so we started reaching out to the ones here because although our system is not the most applicable in Finland, we do have quite good access to energy here, but these organizations are the ones that have projects in different countries, like in Africa. So in that sense, it's easiest to meet with the people here, show them our systems, collaborate, and then make sure that we can start other projects in other regions. Of course, the challenge comes, how can you find the right people within these organizations? Some of them have people already around technology and IT. So for us, this was actually the first step, how we reach out to Plan International. They had a technology and innovation advisors. So it was a very good way how to start talking with him. And then that's how we developed into further projects. So that could be a tip to look into within these NGOs.
Okay, thank you very much. We definitely make sure that help companies to follow that. That was it. So thank you very much. Very interesting insights and comments from your side. So thank you very much for taking the time for the interview.
No, perfect. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Sami.
Thank you.